Kamala Harris, as her already floundering campaign for California governor, takes big hits. Plus, she may not even be able to run for president in 2028. Coming up, I'll tell you what's been happening, share with you the latest polling numbers, and lay out who really benefits from Kamala Harris's spectacular but well-deserved crash and burn campaigns. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative, and I am both very happy right now to share the news I'm about to cover, but also a little sad. Sad because I believe Kamala Harris is a unique dumpster fire of incompetence and unelectability for Democrats as a candidate. And I was really hoping that she would run for California governor. And if she didn't do that, I was hoping she'd run for president in 2028 because she really is that bad and that beatable. Her running and being the nominee for either office only enhances Republicans' chances of winning. But Kamala Harris has been getting some really bad news, and I'm going to share that with you. I want to remind you, though, before we get into today's topic about Kamala Harris's free fall, we need your help at Reform California. If you are sick and tired of California being dominated by the far left, the insanity of the far left, don't move out of the state. Rise up and fight back. And that's where I'm inviting you. I'm imploring you. Get involved with Reform California, our political movement. We're the fastest growing conservative political movement in the state of California, and we're going to get voter ID on the ballot in 2026. That will be a game changer for cleaning up our elections. But more importantly, we're flipping seats. We flipped several seats in the last cycle. No help from the California Republican Party, dumpster fire of incompetence and ineptitude. But we are doing this on the ground with support from grassroots activists like you. But if you're not involved, we can't do this work. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org right now. Do two things. Go down to the bottom and sign up. The reason why you need to sign up is you need to be getting the information about what's going on in your area. Where are the rallies? Where are the town halls? What candidates have we endorsed? Where's your voter guide so you know what the ballot measures actually do? We give you a plain English translation of what's on your ballot. And of course, how you can support the taking back of our state. Sign up at the bottom, first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be tethered into our growing movement statewide. Plus, while you're there, please chip in a contribution. I put it this way, put gas in our tank. Put a California priced gallon of gas in our tank, which is about $5.50 right now. That's all it takes, $5 a month to fuel our fight to take back our state. So do that right now. If you can't do either one of those things, at least subscribe to this channel and like this video so that we can expand our reach through digital media. Let's get into Kamala Harris's spectacularly bad news this week. So she's sitting at her mansion, one of many mansions in California, basically measuring the drapes of the governor's office or going back and remeasuring the drapes of the Oval Office. Very arrogant, very ignorant. She might not even react to some of this that I'm about to share with you in the right way, as a normal person would, a sane person would, and realize, okay, your career is over in politics, go and make money as some sort of shill lobbyist for a corporation, which is what most Democrats do. She may not be smart enough to realize what I'm about to tell you, but it's over for her, completely over. But she's saying that she's going to decide whether she's going to run for governor in the early part of the fall. And meanwhile, there's a whole, set of candidates on the left, led by Katie Porter, former member of Congress, Katie Porter, that are already raising money and running for governor. And they're building support with each and every passing day. And Kamala Harris is losing time, and time is precious in a campaign. So she's dilly-dallying around because of her arrogance and ignorance, thinking that she has time. But the bad news for her, the donors don't want her. Insiders say, we don't want you to run. Headline: Kamala Harris is ramping up her outreach. No one is incredibly pumped. Some party funders have privately shared their ambivalence as the former vice president ramps up her outreach ahead of a potential run for governor. So she's calling donors saying, so what do you think? And they're like, I think we'll take out tonight. Oh, you mean, are you going to run, whether I'd support you for governor? Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a call coming in on the other line. I think it's a telemarketer. I should really take that and find out what they're selling. Clunk. She's getting a very tepid response. Remember, this is a former presidential candidate. This is the former vice president, the former attorney general, the former district attorney of San Francisco. She's had 2 decades of elected office. I skipped over the Senate, but again, you can forgive me for that because, again, she wasn't very relevant in that position either. So she should be building up a bunch of chits over these years of big donors. They all know who she is, but no one's particularly excited to write the $30,000, $40,000 check, max out check, and fund an independent expenditure committee for her. She needs this money to run. She can't just run on name ID. Her name ID is melting very rapidly, or at least the enthusiasm for voters saying, oh yeah, I want to pick her, very rapidly falling. And I'll share that in just a moment, the evidence of that. So Harris not getting the support and the enthusiasm of the donor class, and you need money to run for governor. Here's the other thing. Katie Porter this week said, you know what? If Harris gets in, I'm not getting out. Now, back in the spring, when Katie Porter got into the governor's race, and she's formidable, okay? Republicans beware. She is formidable. She's the strongest Democrat running for governor in California. She's tenacious. She's got a grassroots fundraising base, and she's very populist. She's bat blank crazy on her policies. She's a socialist. She's insane and she's corrupt, but hey, doesn't that describe every Democrat? Anyway, so Katie Porter back in the spring said that Harris would have a powerful field clearing effect. Now she's saying, I'm going to stay in the running. Quote, Porter is now telling supporters that she will stay in the running even if former Vice President Kamala Harris joins the fray. And that means that Porter feels confident she can beat Harris. And I agree with that assessment. Harris has a glass jaw. And again, there's data out there showing that there's a glass jaw. Plus, Porter will have money. Harris, as I just mentioned, probably not have very much money at all to actually mount a campaign. So Harris is not getting out. And Harris is basically the biggest threat. I'm sorry, Porter's not getting out, and she's the biggest threat to Harris. Now, what does the polling show? The last poll we had was the Emerson poll in April. And it showed that about 30% of California voters, 31% of Democrat voters, were going to vote for, this is of all voters in California. 31% were going to vote for Kamala Harris, 8% for Porter, and then everyone else is all in single digits, including the Republican. They had one Republican in there. Since then, Steve Hilton has also joined. So we'll talk about the Republican candidates later. But anyway, Kamala Harris is at 31%. Now, mind you, right after the November election, Harris was at 47%. So between November at 47% run for governor to April, she's dropped 16 points. Katie Porter is at 8%, and she's only got the ability to climb. This should be frightening, terrifying to Kamala Harris. But again, she's not particularly smart. And political consultants always like to make money off their clients. So they'll say, oh, no, you're a shoo-in. You should file. But make sure you give me my retainer and commission check first. The whole lot of them corrupt. Fund failure. Anyway, so that's the poll. But even worse, there's no joyousness in the voters. 50% say Harris should not run for governor, while 50% think, yeah, she should. I think a lot of those people saying she should are probably Republicans saying, yes, please get her to be the nominee if they were smart. Now, here's the even worse news for Harris. I'll tell you, again, the numbers on the Democrat governor side are sliding, but I have a fresh poll for president that shows that if you did a poll for governor, her numbers would be way below 30% because people judging her for president have also walked away from her. Because with the passage of time, people kind of wake up realizing, yeah, I was enthusiastic at the time, but oh boy, she is inept. New Democrat poll, new 2028 Democratic front runner surges ahead of Kamala Harris. This is June 27th. This poll is, who did this? Emerson. Emerson shows that Pete Buttigieg is now in first place above Harris. When Pete Buttigieg, as inept as he is more favored in the presidential race than you are, you got big problems. So 16% say they will cast the ballot for Buttigieg. These are Democrat voters, compared to 13% for Harris. And Gavin Newsom has actually surged to 12%. Now, this is important. While Harris has gone down, Buttigieg has gone up, but also Newsom has gone up. And this is so important for you to understand. Kamala Harris is thinking, okay, I want to run for president. She really wants to be president. She doesn't want to come back and be governor. She thinks it's beneath her, but she'll settle for it if she has to. So she's looking at her national polling numbers cratering and realizing, wait a minute, Newsom is actually out hustling me. And I told you in last week's podcast, Newsom is having a good run of it by becoming the anti-Trump nationally. He stoked the riots, got a bunch of fanfare off of it. Now he's suing Fox News, getting fanfare off of that. So Newsom seems to have found his stride and is surging. We talked about why Newsom is unelectable as a Democrat running for president, but Harris's conclusion will be, I'm not going to be able to run for president. It's Gavin Newsom who's getting all this attention. I'm now, basically almost tied for him. And Pete Buttigieg is beating both of us. So the door on the presidential side is closing, which might make her say, okay, I'm going to run for governor. Since I can't run for president, might as well just take the booby prize. Might as well take the second place, the backup consolation prize. Nope. We now have a situation where national polling shows she's softening her support. If you did a poll for governor right now, damn well show you, as the progression has already been seen, 47% in November to 31% in March. She's probably down to maybe 20% right now, if not in the teens. And it's possible she's neck and neck with Porter. And that's not, Porter's going to continue to surge in my prediction. And then she has no money because none of the donors are excited. She's sitting there looking at all of this information. And if she's making a rational, data-based decision, she's got to be saying, crap, the door is shut. Let me go off and make money. So that's the bad news for Kamala Harris. And as I'm kind of heartbroken over it. I really want her to run because she is so beatable. And I'm also not afraid of Newsom running for president. He is also so beatable. And that's why at Reform California, we actually are building a dirt file on both of these bad candidates. And we're working right now on a Katie Porter dirt file because we're fighting to take back our state from the far left. So join us at reformcalifornia.org, chip in a contribution, go to the bottom, sign up, and be part of our growing movement to take back our state from far left insanity. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.